Hello, welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. I'm really glad you're here. Today's date is Thursday, December 15th, 2022. I have a question to ask you. If you were interested in Mr. T's announcement, did you stop and get disappointed when some mainstream outlets said he was just announcing that he's selling trading cards? Did you? Hopefully, very few of you listening to this said no. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so according to all news sources, and this is one I'm currently disappointed in, heads are spinning in the military as Mr. T turns to NFTs. And I thought that can't be all. And like many of you, hopefully, I kept looking and I found here is his big announcement. 8 minutes, 51 seconds. Okay. And it's about something incredibly important to us. Freedom of speech. Now understand, to remain on this platform, I won't be able to show you links for those, but please take the time that I did and listen to that 8 minute, 51 second speech that Mr. T gave, outlining actions he's going to take upon his inauguration, not if elected. He said that twice, upon his inauguration. Now, I don't claim to have my super decoder ring on things like this. I wait for other people that are much more skilled in that area and in gematria to bring down even more information for us. But one of the comments that I was reading on after listening to that speech, the 8 minute, 51 seconds, was that it was brilliant. It was brilliant. It was classic Mr. T, even if that was or wasn't Mr. T. Here's what I say. The listening to that speech, that was the kind of speech I would expect from Mr. T. So I am not going to worry about whether that really was him or a stand-in or what's happened. As long as the actions and the words match up with what I expect from the Mr. T we know and love, I'm happy. I hope you are too. And I don't intend to do a reading about was that him or wasn't him, because we know quite often there's stand-ins for major players. It's just, and they're responsible for their actions as they act as that person. And the consequences they get should be just as real as if they were that person. But it's what they do. For example, with a site recently purchased by Elon, whether that's him or not, the disclosures. And isn't it funny? This is not how I expected D-Class to start, but it seems to be a classic example of what D-Class for the general population is, how it's starting to roll out in ways that our beloved normies can assimilate. I think it's just fascinating. So here's what I want to ask the cards after this little discussion we've had, that even though mainstream media and some alt media is going to say that his big announcement today on December 15th was simply about NFTs, trading cards that he'll be selling. The actual thing was talking about and outlining in nice detail how he would address reclaiming, and he used that term, reclaiming our freedom of speech. And it was a pretty powerful speech. I really liked it. I hope you listened to it. Okay. So, but if you're just one of those skimmers and you saw, oh, it's just NFTs and you're disappointed, well, you kind of deserve to be. That's my opinion anyway, because if you're halfway awake, you know to keep digging. There's got to be more. There's got to be more. And there was. So you heard it here. If you hadn't already figured that out yourself, and you can go look it up and find out that he's got actually a pretty good plan for upon his inauguration. And there was no mention of 2024 either. Okay, so the other thing too is the sales of the trading cards allow Mr. T to avoid the uniparty campaign contribution control mechanisms. So give that some thought, okay? Just a thought. It's and it also kind of It's they're kind of humorous ways to troll too. So here's what I want to ask the cards though. Mr. T's speech today, which was about freedom of speech. Is this a message that we can count on to be acted upon his inauguration? And is there other information the universe wants us to know? I think that's a pretty important question to ask. So can we count on that to be acted upon his inauguration? And is there other information the universe wants us to know? Let's find out. Okay, the free speech plan outlined by Mr. T today. Is it something we can count on being followed upon his inauguration? And is there other information the universe wants us to know? Our first card is Justice. You don't even need me. Six of Pentacles, King of Wands, the Chariot, the Moon, King of Pentacles, Hanged Man. So our question to the universe was, the action plan outlined by Mr. T upon his inauguration, can we trust that that would be implemented upon his inauguration? And is there other information the universe wanted us to know? We got a big solid yes here with the question being indicated in situation with the Justice card. Absolutely. The Justice card, again, there's not a lot in the way of hidden meanings here. It's about right action and truth and law. He is going to be a constitutional upholder, and he will take that action, will benefit from it. And there won't be sadness about the actions as they're taken by the general population, maybe to those who have in the past stifled our constitutional right to free speech, but not by those of us who regain it, reclaim it, and use it. Okay, in the recent past, we have the King of Wands showing up. This is a card that shows honor and leadership and a vision. So Mr. T does have a vision for how he wants our First Amendment rights to be returned to us. He's going to go full speed ahead with that action. Okay, and this isn't in the future. This is kind of in the present here. So it's kind of interesting. We may not have all that long to wait for that inauguration. Okay, and it's interesting that it's right by the Justice card. Now, it's not, the near future card is the Moon card. And the Moon card usually talks of loss and sometimes of secrets. And but it's well aspected by the King of Pentacles and the Hanged Man. So I think what it's telling us here is, again, the losses that are going to be sustained are going to be from those, and they're still ahead of them. The losses are going to be sustained by those who have stifled and censored and kept people from being able to freely express themselves in clear speech. And so, yeah, there's going to be some accountability, some justice happening for them too. Okay, now the King of Pentacles, when he shows up, he's got a lot of ambition. He's faithful, though, a faithful provider. And he's right by the Justice card, just saying, don't worry about this. I'm a good provider. This is about those that have something to worry about. Okay, and as a result of this, we are going to have some aha moments. We're going to be looking at things in a new way, and hopefully with a little more wisdom and sovereignty and appreciation for how easily it is to lose our rights or have them slowly chipped away until they're gone completely. Let's get a few more cards for some additional insights and information, because the universe does think this is a pretty important topic. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana showing up here out of 7 cards. Okay. And remember, major arcanas have a name under them and the number. Whereas when they're just the court cards, They have the name under them for the king or the page or what have you. So that's how you can tell them apart if you're not a tarot reader, but you like to follow along and you want to feel like you're not getting bamboozled. You've got at least the beginning, a glimmering of what's going on with the cards as a reader works with them. Okay, we have the High Priestess. One of the things, and she's another major arcana, okay? Now, one of the things that she indicates is some secrets, some duality going on here. So we know there are two sides, light and dark, and we're going from dark to light in our world. So I don't really worry about her showing up here, but she also shows up sometimes when things are just about to go from being behind the scenes to public. So it's interesting that she's showing up here on top of the Justice card and the Chariot card. The Emperor card. Okay, not to worry, our ultimate alliance, white hat Mr. T card. Okay, he's on it. He will be faithful to keep his. When this thing starts to come through, we know our tower moment. Okay, it's going to be, you know, trickle, trickle, trickle. Yeah, shuffle, 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 slow, and then boom. We're going to have some fast moving events. And once again, with only a 1 in 7 chance of showing up, we have the 6 of Cups, reminding us that it's for the children. Our world is being freed. Our Creator is stepping in because our children need to be safe, cherished, healthy, nurtured, and nothing from them should be filling any cups ever again. I like that that card spread. I like that we can count on Mr. T upon his inauguration to take those steps that he says he'll take to return our rights for free speech. It's timely, it's important, and it has nothing to do with trading cards. Don't let yourself be discouraged and think that that's all Mr. T spoke about, because that wasn't his disclosure today. Not by half, not at all. And the fact that he'll be able to circumvent traditional campaign financing and possible attempts to rein him in and modify his message or his goals or his intent, that's perfect troll for the deep state. Perfect. So let them dismiss it and try to minimize what was said today. That was, in my opinion, already, even without the further decodes. This is a much more important announcement than the November 15th one when he announced a willingness to be a candidate. God bless the Alliance. God bless everybody who is working to restore humanity, because this isn't just one country and it isn't just one election, but those that work to restore humanity to a path more closely aligned with what our Creator intended. And that is one that sees life as precious and full of potential. We deserve it. Until next time, I wish you love and light, and find ways to smile and laugh. It's one of the best ways to fight evil. Good night.